If there's one thing I know about deporting people, you can't do it with a lint t-shirt. Am I right? All right, buckle up. Word on the block here, okay, is that Trump wants to basically, he's going to deport everybody. We're deporting everybody out here, okay? It's a lot of people, okay? This isn't just on the internet. This is cable television. This is the real deal here.
President-elect Donald Trump taking to his social media platform, Truth Social, confirming that he will be preparing to declare a national emergency and plans to use military assets to reverse the Biden, quote, invasion through a mass deportation program. That was shared by conservative political activist Tom Fitton. And as you can see, Donald Trump saying true with 3 exclamation marks.
No! Trigger finger turn to Twitter fingers. That's so funny. Take it to the tweet, baby.
To all of you
now, look, I'm not here to say this is right or wrong, but this is some crazy stuff. And there's always a catch-22 here. But according to this lady, this is basically what everybody wanted, and I do kind of get it.
Liberals crying about deportations. Consider this. Trump was perfectly clear about his deportation plan throughout his campaign. And then he won by a landslide, which means we the people want that. So go cope or cry about it. We don't really care.
You all know that mega voters wanted mass deportation, right? Like, we do not care how Trump does it. We want mass deportation.
Quickly, what happens to a mayor or a local...
All right, this is going to seem like this is some crazy stuff. Like, I totally get it. I do. Like, put it this way. Before we continue here, because just remember, there's always a catch-22 with this kind of stuff that's going on here. But if I were to go to another country with no visa, right, I just skipped on in, just totally illegal, and they get me, and they want to deport me, I get it. It's like, okay, makes sense. All right. But this is where it gets a little trippy here.
Police department chief that is under Democratic leadership that obstructs ICE in your federal agents that are helping get these deportations. What happens to them?
Well, first of all, if they don't want to help us get the hell out of the way, we're going to do it. If I got to send twice the amount of resources to that city, that's what we're going to do. If they would give us access to the jail, that would mean less agents in the community. For them pushing back and not letting us in the jail, it just means more agents are going to be in the community, so they're hurting themselves. Finally, I'll say this. They need to educate themselves. They need to review this. Title 8, United States Code 1324, III. Read about that and don't cross that line, because it is a felony to harbor and conceal an illegal alien from ICE. Read the statute, don't cross that line.
So it's basically like some Anne Frank shit all over again, all right? Well, Jose Frank, all right? That's what's going down right now. I'm just trying to like kind of make this a little light, because who really knows if this is even going to happen? But basically, they're planning on just sending the military just knocking on doors and just adios, muchachos. Or not just Mexicans, but basically anybody who is here illegally. And I do understand why, a lot of Americans are kind of pissed with the whole free money stuff and people just coming in and getting free money and free housing. Trust me, I get it. I'm sitting here watching all these things going, what? So I get it, but this dude breaks it down, because if this does go into effect, who knows? This guy kind of sums it up here, and he ain't lying.
Just remember this. On January 20th, when your boy, the little horn, Donald J. Trump, issues a national emergency declaration that will put us under martial law, okay? And the Constitution will not matter. It will be suspended. And he is doing this in the name of deportation of immigrants, but it's really, once he does it, it's never going back. He will never take it back. We will remain under the NED, National Emergency Declaration, another name for martial law. It will allow them to use military assets in the streets. And if you don't believe me, Just, I mean, look at what they're proposing right now. They're saying it out loud.
Dude, code 3425 triple I. Everybody knows that. Get educated. Ned? NED? All right, but all jokes aside, martial law, basically, it's when martial law is declared, civil rights and freedoms are typically suspended. Yeah, so there goes, that's kind of the catch-22 of this whole thing. Like, it sounds good over here, right? But then we're like, it's like when one thing's passing, we're all like, yes, there's this other thing, we're all like, fuck. So, something to think about. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to happen, all right? This is all just people I don't even know. Talking to people I don't even know. While you're watching some dude you don't even know. So really, nobody knows anything anymore. And I'm having a great time. But let's not take it from some just dude here on TikTok. Let's go to the news. Even this lady is saying the same shit.
Live next to these people. I can tell you they are women and they are children. Are there terrorists among them? I don't know, but I can tell you that
neither does the government.
But I can tell you. But let me tell. Okay, but what I'm telling you right now, practically speaking, is that there will be people, American citizens, who will prevent these little kids from being dragged out of these shelters. There are. And what's going to happen to these people? What is going to happen to the military when the military opens fire on us?
But no one's. Tracy,
hang on one sec, Chuck.
We're way down a rabbit hole here.
He goes, we are way down a rabbit hole right now, which usually means we're on to something here. Remember, guys, we're just getting a little crazy here. Speaking of deporting stuff, I'm actually about to export the shirts that everybody bought. I really appreciate you guys. The RLP Classics, got them in the link below. Before the tariffs and stuff come into play and nobody could afford anything. No big deal. Anyways, back to the rabbit hole. I think if this really does go down, it's just like military in the street. If I get people knocking on my door, like coming in to search my house, that's going to be some trippy shit. And remember what I said earlier, speaking of rabbit holes, if I were in another country illegally, this is the last thing I would want to happen. If they just came up, took me, said, hey man, you got to go home, dude. You know what I mean? You got to go. I think, all right. But right here, this is some real rabbit hole stuff. Not to get too trippy, but take a hit, metaphorically.
The goal is not to deport 15 million immigrants. They're going to deport some of the nastier ones, but the goal is to get free labor. You guys are forgetting about the Republican Party and the goal of corporations. They want cheap free labor. The loophole in the 13th Amendment is slavery is illegal except for incarceration, as you've seen also through the companies that exploit through the prison industrial complex.
Dude, I would not be cool with that. Absolutely not. A lot of people here. All these people are making a run for the border. Like, we got to get to the U.S. while we can. But when that dude just mentioned loopholes, it's kind of trippy. I'm not saying any of this stuff's true. I don't know, dude. Okay? I have no idea. But the same things with that martial law or the NED, the NED. It's the same concept. It's like, once something like that goes into effect, there is like a loophole around it. This is the new normal. Everything's crazy. Anyways, on to something positive.
So with all these mass deportations, will we get like cheaper houses because now there's going to be, 3 million, 4 million more houses available like that within a year?
You think
Nope.
your food's expensive now? Wait till he deports about half of the farm workers.
But
classic.
Cheaper eggs. You're not getting cheaper eggs. Walmart and Lowe's already announced they're raising their prices because of the tariffs. Like, it's already happening. But yet, he promised me, you're not going to get it. That's not how tariffs work.
Tariffs are coming and prices are about to go through the roof. But if we get tariffs, we will pass those tariffs costs back to the consumer, Philip.
So basically, a tariff is just a tax. And, I was thinking about that. Like, I worked in the restaurant business a long time. Most of the people in the back are all probably not legal citizens. Just saying, all right? I don't want to blow the lid here. But I don't want to be a snitch. It is what it is, Then a lot of people building homes. A lot of jobs. Well, they don't want to pay a lot. It's kind of down there. So, it's like, all right, you know what? real quick, this is the best way to sum up what a tariff is right here. This is the best thing I've ever heard. Johnny Tariff himself.
A tariff is a tax that is paid by the importer. It's not on the exporter to pay for the import. I think that it's important you'll learn Chinese exporters aren't paying the importer who paid for the import. And once they tax importers, American importers, they pass it on consumers who then pay the import. And agencies are funded dependent on the function. That independent function is what the funds support. Asylum is the problem that's found along the border. You can't have law and order without asylum fixed. Inflation is a symptom of global economics. It's not an isolated problem with the states. You need to understand, you're buying propaganda. Look back at 2020 when Trump denied the win. I hope I spelt it out, cause I know you can't spell out, cause the Bush administration left poor children behind.
Okay, we're going way down a rabbit hole here, Junior. What was that guy's name? That was great. And you know what? To sum up what he just said, though, Luke Tripp, that was good. You gotta admit that was grade A stuff. Okay, there's no hit, smash hit, Tariff Johnny, charting the Billboard. They're gonna deport this guy, but like, I'm not here saying. Here's the deal. I don't trust any of it. There, I said it. Okay, I'm on your team. Well, unless you like work for, unless you're part of like the powers that may be, then I'm the little guy. I'm part of the little ants. But I don't trust any of it. How it's like the Bush administration, basically every president, it's all led up to this. To me, it doesn't really matter what president's in. Things are kind of just gnarly, and it's safe to say prices aren't going down. And I'll tell you what is going down. Your whole family, if you're not an American citizen. Classic.
To Donald Trump. Hey, Trump, you see all these folks behind me, all hard-working Mexican Americans? I know we all look alike to you, but these folks were born and raised here and working hard to make our economy grow.
He goes, I know we all look alike to you. So it's funny. You guys all look alike to us. Orientals. It's from a movie. Sorry.
And the migrants that sometimes come alongside and work with these folks, whether it's this industry or the meatpacking or any other, they're here because they know how to work. You've never worked a day in your life, and you don't know what it takes to build this country. So you can take your work site raids that you and Tom Holman want to do and go shove them up your ass. Because at the end of the day, our economy is driven by people like this and by migrants and by so many others that simply want to come out here and come into this country and do well for themselves and their families.
I mean, he's got a point. Plus, I mean, who else are you going to pay like total dog shit? Americans? Come on. Gen Z is not going to go for that. Adults aren't going to go for that. They're just not. Not to get to, but he's got a point. I mean, it sounds like now I'm defending, because you're defending the Mexicans. I'm like, dude, chill. It's not that, bro. I'm just trying to sit here and break some elotes off and just kind of powwow and go, what are we going to do here? Not really. I don't know what we're doing. But he's got a point. It's kind of like, who's going to do, like, whether you like it or not, a lot of the illegal people that get paid under the table, dude, they do a lot more than we think. Anyways, but on a positive note, this dude's got a really great attitude towards everything.
So if you're assuming that they're going to send me back to Mexico, I know some people they're going to be sending back to Africa. Cha-choo!
Just trying to make a documentation. Gas, $2.35 a gallon. It's November the 20th of 2024. And that fella has promised that gas prices is going down. I'm not sure how much down or we need to go.
I'm not sure how much downer we need to go. Dude, shit ain't never going down, bro. Actually, that's a lie. It went down to like $1.50 during COVID, and then we lost a bunch of rights. That was fun. Just a catch-22 to everything. I just kind of sick of the gas price stuff. It's like, dude, it's never gonna... It's always gonna be... It's never going down. Like, housing might go down... Like, it might go down a smidge. But for the most part, it's got the... The old highs are now the new lows. Does that make sense? You know, I remember when I was 10, I pumped gas for my mom. It was $1.05 a gallon. And back then, that might have been a new high. You get what I'm saying? Right? It's $1.05. Holy shit! You know, they're used to it being 75 cents or something. Now it's like gas is $3 near me. You know, so if it's $2.35, I'm sitting there going, "Whoa, gollies, keepers, jollies, jeepers, golly!" See what I'm saying? But like in reality, like it's never going to, like food, everything, especially if they get rid of everybody, all the people doing the cheap work. Don't forget about the tariffs, Tariff Johnny. So that's fun. And I hope we're having a good time here, okay? I just sometimes got to laugh this stuff off and just kind of go, whatever. But this is something to think about. We're going to end on a positive note. This dude laid it out real good here, all right? Because I don't want to make this about some race war. But this guy spells it out perfectly. We'll end on this note.
Your car is German. Your vodka is Russian. Your pizza is Italian. Your kebab is Turkish. Your democracy is Greek. Your coffee is Brazilian. Your movies are American. Your tea is Tamil. Your shirts are from India. Your oil is from Saudi Arabia. Your electronics are Chinese. Your numbers are Arabic. And your letters are Latin. And you complain that your neighbor is an immigrant. Pull yourself together. We're all immigrants.
And I speak a little French. Fuck. Anyways, I don't know what's going down. I'm seeing this explode. People are geeking. People are freaking. But, you know, when I walk outside, everything seems fine. I'm not going to front, though, dude. If there's just military, just tanks and shit just going down the roads, just yanking people, you know, in the future. Obviously, it's not happening now. I just looked out the window. I just went outside. Took my dog for a walk. But if that goes down, man, that's some next level shit. Anyways, hell of a talk. You guys leave your thoughts. Check out the second channel. I appreciate everybody that bought a shirt. I just shipped them all out. So, you know, before the tariffs really cut in, I won't make you pay for it. Just kidding. I'll make you pay for it. Solid talk. Anyways,
Bush administration left poor children behind.